So now we have our four generation technologies. Here are the marginal costs for the different generators. At the very top, we have demand reduction. That's $80 per unit of demand reduction. Next down, we have our peaker, gas peaking unit. The marginal cost of a unit of megawatt hour of electricity from gas peaker is $37.50. The marginal cost from our baseload power plant is $22.50. Let me go back to my highlighter. Is $22.50. And finally, the marginal cost for my solar power plant is $0. All right, so here are our four marginal costs. Let's go next to the different average costs and levelized cost of energy. So I don't have the demand reduction listed here because that's the same cost for all units of demand reduction. So let's look at the different average cost curves for the different resources. We have solar right here with average cost and the levelized cost of energy from solar. Levelized cost of energy from solar is $37. And we have our gas peaker here with a levelized cost of energy of $47.90. And remember, the levelized cost of energy is the average total cost, the long-run average total cost of running the power plant at the anticipated capacity factor. So for our gas peaker, we had an anticipated capacity factor of 30%. For solar, it was 25%, and for our baseload power plant, it was 80%. And the baseload power plant here, keep using the wrong tool. The baseload power plant is here, the average cost, and the levelized cost of energy is the average total cost at 80% capacity factor, and that is $29.90. So now we have our four sample power plants. We have the marginal cost, we have the average cost, and we have the levelized cost of energy from these different power plants. So let's just compare them side by side. Here are the same average cost curves. Now we've got them side by side, so you can look at them all in the same place. I guess it's really important to notice here that solar has a marginal cost that's lower than anyone else's, but its average total cost at 25% capacity factor is higher than the average total cost of the baseload power plant at its anticipated capacity factor. So solar has a lower marginal cost but a higher levelized cost of energy than the baseload power plant. And peaker has both higher marginal cost and higher levelized cost of energy. It doesn't mean we never want to use peaker, because peaker will have an important place in our dispatchable generation resources. But just to review the relationships between these: solar with the lowest marginal cost, peaker with the highest marginal cost, solar with peaker with the highest levelized cost of energy, next solar, next base load. These power plants all have different portfolio of services they offer to the grid. So even with these different long run and marginal costs, we're going to need a portfolio of these assets to the grid And the next thing we're going to want to think about is, well, when do we decide to use each of these resources? So now we want to put it all together. We have our 4 different power plants. We have the marginal and long-run average costs for our 4 different ways of addressing electricity demand. And the next picture shows the cost of 100 megawatt hour increments from each of our 4 plants, including demand reduction as one of our ways of addressing electricity demand. So if I want to add 100 megawatt hours, I can do it from each of these different kinds of power plants. What we have here for solar, we have the levelized cost of energy, or the long-run average cost of energy from the solar plant. We have its marginal cost. For baseload, here's its levelized cost of energy, its long-run marginal cost, and its short-run marginal cost. For peaker and for demand reduction, where they're the same. All right, so this is the stack of energy resources we have available for managing our grid services.